Hi guys, my name is Narayan and I welcome all of you in this video once again. And guys, in this video, I'm just going to talk about the questions which are important from the point of view of interview. If you are going for the position of network security engineer or network administrator, network engineer or network support. And at that time, they will ask the very basic questions regarding the security related. So guys, I'm just gonna share the few questions, around 30 questions in this video, and I hope my video will be informative for you guys. If my videos are or this video is informative for you, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. For that, you just need to go to youtube.com and you can search my channel by my name. My name is Narayan Vaghel, and I have uploaded couple of videos like the very basic questions for desktop support and Windows System Administrator, Network Administrator. Now I'm talking about network security related questions. And let me begin with the very first question. So, guys, very basic and very important question. What do you mean by network? Okay, so I've spoken couple of times in my previous videos also. What it is actually. So, guys, computer. I mean, network is nothing but it's just a collection of multiple network devices to communicate with each other and share the network resources. This is what we call network. Okay, so as you can see here, I have one computer here, I have something here, or I have one printer here. So all are connected with each other, and I have some resources here, or some data is here. So that data is kept here. If I create a network, this user, this system can access the same data, and this system also can access the same data. This printer is connected to this computer. Still, I can share this printer here and make available for the rest of computers also. So this is known as network. So guys, the next very simple question is, what do you mean by or what is network security? So guys, network security consists of policies and practice adapted to prevent and monitor unauthorized access or misuse of modification or denial of computer network. So the meaning is very simple. You should not think too much about the definition and explanation. It should be very clear. Your concept should be very clear. So the thing is, it is a collection of policy or practice, you can say, or method of protecting your data, protecting your IT infrastructure from misuse or modification, uh, or any I mean, just protection is the main concern in term of network security. You are just trying to protect your network security, I mean network or the resources of the network. Network security is any activity designed to protect the usability and integrity of your network and data. So the same thing is here. You are just trying to keep your data safe and secure. It should not be able to access by the unauthorized people, and they should not misuse it. They should not be able to modify it. So the concept is just protection of the data, and your network in IT infrastructure is known as network security. So guys, we are talking about network security. So we should have a clear idea about what is security here. So the definition is very simple. Security is the degree of resistance or protection from harm. It applies to any vulnerable or valuable assets such as person, dwelling, community, item, nation, or organization. So the thing is very simple. Security is related to each and everything. It could be a human itself, it could be a community, a single person or organization, whatever it is, or valuable things. So security is main concern about each and everything. If we talk about in terms of technology, it, security is the defense of digital information technology. Again, it's a kind of thing, or we have to think always about uh, to protect, that is known as security. We have to take care of something from like IT. The thing is like we are going to protect, and we are thinking we have to protect something like malicious or accidental threats. This is known as security concern basically. I'm not getting exact what I should tell you. This defense includes detection. Okay, what we are thinking about, how we can detect detect and prevent and response to threats through the use of security policies or softwares and tools. So it's a complete policy or a strategy or plan how we can detect the things, what are the causes, or how we can protect against those causes, and what will be our response against those causes. That is known as security. Next question we are talk is unauthorized access. What do you mean by unauthorized access? So the thing is, if we are talking about security, we are talking about unauthorized access also. So unauthorized access is a type of network or data access that is not explicitly approved by the organization. So the thing is, we have some data here, okay, but that is not approved for this users to access, but he is trying to access that data. That is known as unauthorized access. He is not authorized, or he is not approved by the organization. So that is known as unauthorized access. So for example, hacker is sitting here, okay, and this is my organization, and he is just trying to access some data from here. That is known as unauthorized access. Now, what do you mean by data theft? So guys, data theft is a type of attack in which unauthorized access is used to obtain protected network information. So the meaning is very simple. This much is enough. It is a kind of activity, or it is a kind of practice, or unauthorized practice, or unauthorized activity to access some data from protected network, or it's a activity, or it's a practice to steal the data from a protected network information, or it is a kind of you can say activity to steal or to obtain the detail or protected network information. Okay, and they may use some sort of additional softwares or hardwares for this process. And this kind of activity is also known as sniffer, which is a device or program that monitor network communication and capture data. So they use some sort of hardware or software which is known as sniffer. So you can see here, this is a hacker here, and he's trying to access or he's trying to steal some information which is kept on this server. So this is known as data theft. Now, password attack. What do you mean by password attack? So guys, password attack is any type of unauthorized effort to discover a user's valid password. So it is again, it's a kind of uh, activity or practice to obtain a valid password by the hackers who is sitting outside our organization, and he will try to hack or capture the valid password which is given to users. Now we will go for the next question. The very important question is, what do you mean by encryption here? So guys, the meaning of encryption or process of encryption is very simple. It will change the format of your data. That is known as encryption. And when it is received by the receiving end, it will decrypt that data. Then only this communication will happen in proper way. That is known as encryption. If you see here, encryption is a network security measure in which information is encoded or scrambled prior to transmission, so that it cannot be read unless the recipient know the decoding mechanism or key. Encryption is used in some form of almost every network, often to protect password during authentication, but also to protect the data inside the network masses. If any sort of communication is happening between two computers or two system or two hosts, this encryption mechanism should be enabled on both the computers. So the guys, next question is brute force password attack. What does it mean? So guys, it is a very again, it's a kind of activity in which they will use a multiple combination of password to obtain the real password of the user. They will try to use multiple password or multiple combination to obtain or to capture the real password of the user. As you can see here, it's a combination of you can say the collection of multiple password of combination of multiple characters. So this is how they will use some sort of software to generate combination to obtain the real password. Or you can say the guessing password by using a software that systematically generate password combination until a valid one is found. Brute force password attack, given enough time and sufficient complex password cracking software, will usually succeed. If you have a strong password, you can easily you can do it. The next question is, guys, what do you mean by Trojan horse attack? So guys, in Trojan horse attack is an attempt to gain on the, again it's a kind of activity or a practice to access unauthorized, to gain unauthorized access through the use of horse program, which pretends they will behave like they are valid software. The Trojan horse is often delivered as an email attachment. The user run the Trojan horse thinking it is a harmless or approved file, and they will be activated on the system and will share or will send the information which is related. I mean, whatever information or whatever activity is going on in your computer outside your network to the hackers. They may capture your financial information like credit card or something like that. Guys, next question is, what do you mean by snooping attack? So snooping attack is a type of attack in which a device outside the network uses the internal network address to masquerade or pretends as a device inside the network. So guys, the meaning, the concept is very simple. Here what will happen, for example, this is my network. Okay, now hacker will use one device. That device will behave, or that device will pretend like it's an internal device. This is known as snooping attack. What will happen here, brute for because network, why they use this kind of device? Because sometimes what happens, network devices often authenticate by address only rather than password. The external device can use the legitimate internal address to authenticate on the network and obtain network information. So guys, they will use one device here, and that device will behave like internal device. How it works and what is the process here, we will see the next question. What is this snooping process? First, identifies target within the network. So this is the target to hack. Okay, of the network. What will happen then? Identifies the host that has the trusted relationship. Now I have a host here. So this guy, this hacker will try to identify one host who is able to communicate or has a relationship with this target here. Okay, now it will disable this. What will happen next? Disable the legitimate host that is communicating with the target. So it will disable, this device will disable this host who is able to communicate with this target computer. Now what will happen? Steal the trusted device network address and identity. Now this device will steal all the information of this computer. Finally, uses the stolen identity to redirect data from the target host under the attacker's control. Now he will use this information or whatever communication is happening, or whatever the credentials or things are being used in this communication, and now this hacker will use to communicate with this target computer. So this is how snooping process work. Now session hijacking attack. So guys, what will happen here? Session hijacking is the type of snooping in which the attacker takes over an existing network communication session between two devices after the session has already been authenticated. So the thing is, guys, we have a server here and one client. So this client is already has a session with this server, and communication happening. Now this attacker will come in between and take control of this communication, because this is already authenticated, and this is known as session hijacking attack. The hijacker can either read network packets as they pass between the legitimate host, or disable one host and pose as one of the original parties in the session. What he can do is he's capable now to disable this host, or he can take control, uh, entirely control on the behalf of this client. So this is known as session hijacking, and he is able to capture all the packets or all the communication, whatever is happening during this authenticated session. Now he will take control and he can disable this host. Now next question, what do you mean by man in the middle attack, guys? So man in the middle attack is a data theft technique in which the attacker interposes a device between two legitimate or authorized hosts to gain access to their data transmission. So the thing is again same, similar to the, I mean this one, session hijacking. Now he will use some sort of device to take control of this data transmission between two devices, or authorized devices, or authorized communication. The intruder device deceives both the sender and receiver by responding to the transmission boot direction. Now what will happen here? This device will behave here like both side communication is happening properly. Unlike snooping, the attackers can actively manipulate the communication rather than listening passively, and can gain access to a variety of data, including the username and password, network configuration, and the content of the network packet. So he is capable to read each and everything during this hijacking or this attack, with the help of this attack. The guys, the next question is, what do you mean by denial of service, that is also known as DOS attack? So what will happen in this? So guys, a denial of service or DOS attack is an attack that is mounted for the purpose of disabling system that provide network services. So the concept here is like it will disable the device that is providing network service rather than to steal data or inflict damage. So they will not try to steal any data or inflict any device or anything. They will not damage anything here, but they will disable that device which is providing network services. The target of the attack can be network server or network routers. So they will uh, put down your entire network if they disable your router or servers. The DOS attack prevents the system from responding to authorized requests, thus obstruct network function. So the concept of is very simple here. This is my server, or you can say this is my router, and this is my system. I'm trying to access router or server here. So what will happen here? This server will not respond to this client, or this router will not respond to this client, and they will, why? Because he's creating obstacle here. So this is what we have, denial of service here. What they do here basically, attack usually mounted through one of the three methods. So they have some methods here: flooding a network with data to consume network bandwidth, all network bandwidth. They will flood some sort of data that will be capable to consume entire network bandwidth. Sending, next what will happen here, sending data designed to exploit known flow in the network application. Third thing, sending multiple service requests to target system to consume its resources. So they will use this kind of mechanism or techniques for this denial of service attack. Next question, guys, is distributed denial of service, DDoS. Now here, what will happen in this? What they do basically, a distributed denial of service DDoS attack is a type of DOS attack that uses multiple computer. In this, what was happening? They were using single computer. Now they will use multiple computer here. Multiple computers on disparate network to launch the attack from many simultaneous resources. The attacker introduced unauthorized software called zombies or drone that direct the computers to launch the attack. So they will use some sort of software that is known as zombie, and they will use multiple computers here, or that those zombies are also known as drone. So this is known as distributed denial of service. The next question is, guy, what do you mean by viruses? So virus is a kind of program. You can read multiple things here about it, but we should have the basic understanding. So virus is a kind of program that spread itself, okay, or you can say it's a kind of unauthorized software program that is capable to damage your system or corrupt your data and manipulate your data and steal your information and send outside of your network. So many viruses are able to move from one computer to another and create copy of themselves. So they can spread themselves by themselves. A virus can carry payload code and that enable the virus to perform additional tasks, which can be either beginning of destructive. Many viruses have malicious payload. So as I told you, they are capable to do lots of things in your systems. Now, what do you mean by social engineering attack? So guys, social engineering attack is a non-technical attack in which the attackers attempt to obtain information directly from network users by employing deception and trickeries. The attacker tries to use legitimate sounding means to persuade a user to provide password and sensitive data or even money. So the meaning here is like it's a kind of activity. They will try to ask for your passwords and ask your sensitive data like your credit cards, your bank account detail or something like that. They will use this kind of technique to obtain all the information. The attacker can come through email or over phone and is often precursor to another type of attack. So guys, it's a very simple thing. They may come through over the call or email by asking your username and password or your bank details, something like that. That is known as social engineering attack. Example is phishing here. Phishing is a type of social engineering attack that is becoming more and more common. So this is very common sort of attack. In a phishing attack, the attacker sends an email that seems to come from a respected bank or other financial institute. So they will send you some sort of information like we are from this company or this bank, or you have won this much of I mean prize, or we have to give you this blah, like that information. They will send in that mail and try to obtain your information. So that is known as social engineering attack and phishing. So next question, guy, the most important question, because you are talking about network security, then how will you protect against all those things I have already discussed, all the attacks and all the possibilities, whatever available against your data or your network. So how will you protect your all the things, whatever you have? So what is firewall here? Guys, the firewall is a network security system, either hardware or software based, that uses rules to control incoming and outgoing network traffic. So guys, it can be a software or it can be a hardware, both, or sometimes it could be a combination of both, that is used to protect or control your incoming and outgoing network traffic. A firewall acts as a barrier between a trusted network and an unauthorized untrusted network. A firewall controls access to the resources of the network through the positive control method. So it's a wall, you can say, between your internal network and external network to protect your internal communication and external communication. So that is known as firewall. Now guys, what are the types of rules in firewall? So rules, we have basic two rules. One is inbound and second one is outbound. The next question is, guys, what are the types of firewalls? So if we are talking about the firewalls, then we should have the enough knowledge about the firewall. So guys, basically we have three types. First one is packet filtering. Third one is stateful inspection, and I mean second one is stateful inspection, and third one is proxies. So what do you mean by, next question is, what do you mean by network layer firewall? So guys, network layer firewall generally make their decision based on the source address, destination address, and port in individual IP packets. If we have a network layer firewall here, so they will use source address, destination address, as well as port in individual IP packet. If any packet is trying to cross that router or that firewall, it will check all the information. In simple, router is a traditional network layer firewall. So router is a, you can use the router as a firewall. You can, because you can create multiple access list to protect or control your incoming and outgoing communication, and in that it will use to check, or it will take decision on the basis of source address and destination address as well as ports. Guys, next question is, what do you mean by packet filtering? So guys, on the internet, packet filtering is the purpose of or process of passing or blocking packets at the network interface based on source and destination address, port or protocol. So if data communication is happening across this firewall, or you can say the firewall, it will filter your data, whether it is allowed to go outside, or it is blocked, or it is denied to go outside. So it will check, okay, the source address and destination address, ports as well as protocols, then only it will send the data outside of your interface. The next question is, guys, stateful inspections. What do you mean by stateful inspections? So it is a type of firewall. Again, this is one type of uh, this is I mean, as I told you, we have three uh, type of firewall. So packet filtering is one, second one is stateful inspection. So we will see here what is actually. So is stateful inspection is also known as inspection, is also known as dynamic packet filtering, is a firewall technology that monitors the state of active connections and uses this information to determine which network packet to allow through the firewall. So it will check if you have multiple connections, then it will check the active connections only, and then it will decide whether packet has to go out or not. The next question is, guys, what do you mean by proxy firewall? So proxy firewalls offers more security than other type of firewalls. So it is more secure as compared to both packet filtering and stateful inspections, but at the expense of speed and functionality, as they can limit which application the network supports. So this is a third firewall we have. Now, what do you mean by unified threat management? So very important question, or it is also known as UTM. So guys, a new category of network security product. Basically, it's a network security product called Unified Threat Management. Promises integration, convenience, convenience and protection from pretty much every threat out there. These are especially valuable for enterprise. So you can say UTM or Unified Threat Management. It's a kind of new technology to protect your data, and very helpful. It is commonly used for the protection of the data, or very valuable for the enterprises. Now, what do you mean by, or what do you mean by, or what is your understanding about connection security rules? Because if you uh, go to system firewall, just telling you the few things here, because we have Windows firewall here, and if you go to this thing advanced setting, you will see lots of things here. So very basic things we have here also. So I'm just going to advance. As I told you, we have two inbound and outbound rules. Now this one I'm talking about, what is connection security rule here? So guys, connection security involves the authentication of two computers before they begin communication, and the, and the securing of information sent between two computers. So the thing is very simple. If we have two computers here, this and this, so there should be a proper authentication, and until and unless there is no proper authentication, this data communication will not happen. And this authentication should happen before the data this communication is secure, then only this communication will take place or will happen. Windows firewall with advanced security uses internet protocol securities to achieve connection security by using key exchange authentication data integrity, and optionally data encryption. So this kind of functionality will be provided by this connection security rules. Guys, next question, what do you mean by monitoring Windows firewall? So guys, the monitoring item in the Windows firewall with advanced security MMC snap in allows you to monitor the active firewall rules and connection security rules on the computer. Policies created using the IP security policy snap-in cannot be viewed using Windows firewall with advanced security. So the meaning is very simple here. Again, if I go to this one and open this, you can monitor lots of things here. Just click on this monitoring. You have multiple options here. Firewall, if you click on firewall, so there are no item soon as of now. But if you go like this, so you need to configure each and everything here, then only it will be available to capture the things, because we have not created any sort of configuration here. But if you see here, inbound rules and outbound rules, and you can do lots of things here. If you want to create new rule, you can create here. You can if you want, you can create for program port or predefined. From here you can block, or you can allow multiple ports. So this is known as uh, Windows monitoring Windows firewall. Guys, next question is, what are the firewall profiles? So we have certain profiles here in firewall. The first one is, guys, domain. Second one is private, and third one is public. So by name itself, it says what does it mean. So it applies, if we talk about domain, applies to a network adapter when it is connected to network on which it can detect a domain controller. If we have a domain, in that condition one computer is connected, so it will be applied uh, to that system network adapter. Similarly, we have if we talk about private, so applied to network adapter when it is connected to network that is identified by the administrator as private network. If we have configured that system as a private network, then this profile will be applied. Now next one is public, applied to network adapter when it is connected to public networks such as those available in airports and coffee shops. So these are the firewall profiles we have here. So if you want to see, you can see here itself. Let me go to this firewall once again, and advanced setting, and I will have to search here somewhere. We have that option, uh, firewall profile. I'm not getting that where it is actually, but it will be here only. So I'm just leaving this one because it is consuming more time. So guys, next question, we will move to next question. The next question is, what do you mean by intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention system, which is also known as IDS and IPS? So guys, an intrusion detection system is a device or software application that monitors a network or system for malicious activity or policy violence. Okay, so this is the kind of, you can say, software or device or application which will be working to keep monitoring for the malicious activities and policy violence. If we have configured certain policies, what are the activities trying to manipulate that policies or violate. Now, as you can see here, an intrusion prevention system, IPS. This was your detection system. Now we are talking about prevention system. Is a network security threat prevention technology that examines network traffic flow to detect and prevent vulnerability exploits. So the thing is, they will check network traffic and detect and prevent against all the unauthorized activity or threats on the network. Guys, next question is, what is anti-spyware? So guys, anti-spyware is a type of software again that is designed to detect and remove unwanted spyware programs. If by mistake or by some sort of activity, some spyware came to your system, so here anti-spyware will work to detect those things and remove unwanted spyware programs. Spyware is a type of malware that installed on a computer without the user's knowledge in order to collect information about uh, them. So it's a kind of program or application, you can say, which will be installed by mistake, or user will not be knowing what is happening and they will try to capture the informations from your systems. Guys, now the next question is what technology can be used for prevention protection against flooding attacks. So guys, if you're talking about flooding attack or prevention, any sort of data related to data protection, so we have two things here, which is IPS and IDS. So basically we use this kind of things if we are configuring firewall, sonic wall or something like that. At that time we can configure all those things. So the thing is very simple. IDS and IPS can be used for protection against flooding attacks. Whatever attacks I have spoken, those you can say the flooding of attacks, because those are the multiple attacks. So guys, in this video this much of only. I hope this video will be informative for you. If it is informative, please don't forget to subscribe my channel, comment on this video, like this video and share this video so that it may reach to the other people also. And if my video is helpful, please you can use this URL to subscribe my channel, or you can share this URL to the rest of my other people also. So guys, in this video this much only. Keep watching my videos and I will be posting about a few more questions in the next video. Till then, bye bye.